this is Pooja and welcome to Food Without Borders. Today we'll be making a paleo flatbread. Now this recipe is dairy-free, gluten-free, grain-free, which makes this recipe paleo. Now when I went on a paleo diet, the hardest part for me was to give up bread. And any kind of bread, flatbread, tortillas, and this recipe really comforted me during that time. So let's get started with the ingredients. So folks, for the ingredients you will need some almond flour or almond meal, tapioca flour, some chives that I've chopped, some garlic powder or garlic paste, some avocado oil. Now I'm using avocado oil. You can use ghee, you can use butter, you can use any odorless oil of your choice, some salt to taste, and I have some almond milk here. You can also use coconut milk. Alright, let's put this together. So in this bowl, I am going to add the tapioca flour, and then the almond flour, the garlic powder. You can even add onion powder if you like, and then the chives. Now, sometimes I also use spinach, I use some cilantro. Sometimes what I do is I just put them in a blender and make it into a paste, coarse paste, and then add it to the recipe, and it tastes just good. So your combinations are endless in this recipe. To this, I am going to add some salt, and this is about half a teaspoon of salt. And then the final, the almond milk. And the almond milk gives it that really creamy texture. If you want it to be a little more fatty, you could also use coconut milk. That works really great. And now I will mix this all together until it's a smooth batter. Now let's switch to the whisk. All right, this is done. And now I am going to go to the stove, and what we will do is ladle it and pour it onto a pan just like you would with a pancake or a crepe. So I'll see you in the back. So folks, I have a pan heating up on high heat, and now I am going to lightly grease it with some avocado oil. You can use any kind of fat of your choice, and then ladle a bit of the mixture, the batter, and pour it onto the pan, and then swirl it and spread it a little. This is just like how you would work with a pancake. Now this should take about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Now I am going to flip it and let it cook on the other side, and that would be another 2 to 3 minutes. Now if you notice, when I press on it, it kind of puffs up. It gets a little puffy. That's a sign that your bread is done. Now I am going to transfer this onto a plate and repeat the process until I run out of the batter. Alright folks, I'm working on my last flatbread, and now I will see you in the front for tasting. So folks, we are back, and before we taste it, I want you to see how flexible these are. So these are perfect for wraps. You can make them into tortillas and they will hold your little tacos. Now this is a tiny one because I had a little leftover batter, so I made a tiny one to taste. Chef's treat. And see how gooey it is. So it's really flexible and so good. Now let's taste it. It's crispy on the outside. It's kind of I wouldn't call it elastic, but kind of gooey, but it doesn't stick to the top of your roof of your mouth. It's really good. Give this recipe a try. Let me know what you think about it. Hit subscribe if you haven't. And I will leave a link to the written version of this recipe in the description box, and I will see you next week. Bye.